Okay, hello. This next tutorial will touch upon the editors, like I said in the last video. As you can see, your mod will change to this. The title of your mod, the title of the window will change to your mod's name, which I think is pretty cool. And now we're gonna touch upon the editors a little more. If you don't know how to access this, just watch the last video I've made on this. Now, let's first touch upon the chart editor. Let's go to guns as an example, and we'll choose hard. This is the chart editor. I know it looks a little jarring, but I'll teach you how to use this, place notes, create events, either locally or globally, and create new strumlines, and also move around the strum. So these numbers up here show you how long the song is, the current step, beat, and measure that you're on, the BPM, and the time signature. Okay, first, let's go over to File. File has Save, Save As, Save Global Events, Save Global Events As, Save chart without local events, save chart without local events as, save meta as, export for FNF legacy, and export for Psych Engine. Save and save as are self-explanatory. Just saves the chart. Save global events saves the global events. We'll touch on that later. Save chart without local events. And then save the metadata. We'll get to that in a little bit. And then these two export it for either the legacy FNF or Psych Engine. Pretty awesome. Next, the edit, which houses the undo, redo, copy, paste, cut, delete, those types of stuff. Lifesavers right here. Now we have charts. Playtest. You can playtest wherever you are. If you press enter, then it'll start from the start of the song. But if you instead hold shift, it's called playtest here. It'll start from wherever you are, which is really helpful if you want to start from a set portion of the song. And then if you hold control, you can play as the opponent. Enable scripts during playtesting. Yeah, you can turn that on or off. First, edit chart data. This you can change the stage and the scroll speed. Stage, whatever stage you have, and scroll speed, just how fast the notes go. And then edit metadata information. This will pop up whenever you try. These will pop up whenever you're trying to make your song, which we'll get to in another video. So this is the song metadata. This will house your custom values, advanced if either the song needs vocals, the song name, the display name, modes allowed, difficulties, icon, BPM, time signature, and the color for the icon, and then the color for and also the icon to choose. Good view. You can zoom in and out by holding control and pressing plus. It's supposed to work. I assume it's okay. It's the numpad plus and minus. It's the numpad plus and minus, and then you can if you have a mouse with a scroll wheel or mouse wheel, you can hold control and use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. And also you can hold shift to move left or right, shift left and shift right, and then shift down resets it. There's also show section separators and show beat separators. Very helpful. I usually keep them on, figure out what beat I'm on. And then we have low detail waveforms and rainbow waveforms. If you turn on rainbow waveforms and choose a waveform, then the waveform will be rainbow. If you turn it off, it's gonna look blue, like this. And if you turn off the low detail waveform, it's gonna look like this, which I think that looks cool, but I usually keep it on. That's view. Now song. You can press home to go to the start of the song and end to go to the end of the song. I don't know why I did that, but yeah. Okay, now this one will probably be a lifesaver. You can press O and P to choose if you want to have opponent have the camera, which is O, or the player to have the camera, which is P. And obviously we'll touch more on the events. Add book. Okay, now this one's cool. You can add a bookmark by going to the song and adding a bookmark. You can choose the name and the color. Do start and have a green, and then if we make a new one, like say right here, the bookmark, and you can mute the instrumental and vocals if you want. And then as you make your bookmarks, they'll appear here with the go to, and then you'll of course go to that book. I'm not sure how you delete them actually. There probably is a way. I just don't really know how. You can just undo it. That's how you would delete it. I don't know how else to do it. So yeah, obviously these buttons mute the instrumental and vocals. So they're both playing. There's a hit sound for when they hit the notes. And then if you go to mute instrumental, mute vocals. Very awesome. Now let's touch upon the notes. So if if you hover over a square on this grid, then either left, down, up, or right. If you left click, then you'll place it. If you right click, you'll delete it. This works on events as well, like if I did. You hit the click and press delete. Hit the click and press delete on an event. Again, events later. So notes. If you place a note and press E or Q, you can extend the sustain. You can add more or less sustain to a note. If you hold shift, you can free place without having to snap to a grid. And then you can also change the note type. There's only 2 in the mod. You can add more later. I'll probably touch upon how to add more. There's the no animation note and the no animation note and the alt animation note. Those are the only 2 that I know. You can obviously do Control A to select everything, as you can see. And then if you don't want to select anything, just click anywhere. Either click on the grid or click away. Yeah, or you can select a measure by doing Control Shift A. Alrighty. That's like about everything for up here. Now let's touch upon the events. If the events are on this side, they are locally and only are on a certain difficulty. If they're on this side, they are global events and work on all difficulties. If you hover over the side of it, you'll be able to add an event and then click the plus to add a new event. As of right now, there are 14 events built in. I'll go over all of them very briefly. HScript call. If there's a function you have to call, put the name here and the parameters right here. Don't space them. I've learned that the hard way. And then string will be split with commas, obviously. Again, I don't touch this much. I'm not really much of a coder. Next is camera movement. This is just your usual camera business, but this time you can also tween it. The tween time with steps, and then your easing and your type of ease and your type of tween. The default is classic, which is your usual camera tweening, but you can change it to linear, back, bounce, circle, cube, elastic, exponential, quad, quart, quint, sine, smooth step, and smoother step. And then you can change the type to in, out, or in, out. And of course these are excluded if classic or linear. And then camera position, you can change. It's like the camera movement, but you can put the camera anywhere you want with the X and Y. So you can change if it's offset to. But yeah. Anyways, next is add camera. You can add an amount of camera zoom, which is only a one-time thing. You can add big or little amounts. You can use decimals. Just only like 2 spots though. And then you can change either the the game camera, or the HUD camera. Next is camera bop, which I'm pretty sure that this changes the bop amount, but just look at this. So yeah. It didn't even do anything, so it's like, what? Just figured that one out. I have no idea how that works. Anyways, camera zoom. This one's very helpful. You can tween the zoom if you want, change the zoom. This is dependent on just a number. Basically, it's the zoom, the camera, the zoom for a camera, the tweening stuff that I covered earlier, and either direct or on the stage, and either if it's multiplicative. So what that means is that if it's higher than 1, it will zoom in, and if it's greater than 1, it'll zoom in, and if it's less than 1, it'll zoom out. Decimals really help with this to make it awesome. Next is camera module change. This just changes the interval of the camera bop that's present. Its default is 4:1, but you can change it to whatever numbers you want. You can change it to be on the measure or step, and you can change the B offset. Next is camera flash. This flashes the camera with whatever color you put here. You can either make it reversed, make the time it stays or flashes for, and the camera to put it over. Next is BPM change. This is self-explanatory. I don't need to touch on that. Continuous BPM change. This one is if your song gradually changes on BPM instead of linearly, if that's even a word. Basically what that means, if like, let me pull up FL Studio. So basically, if you create a song and your BPM goes from, let's say, 140 to 160, but you want to change them continuously. So this is what it means. If it changes like that, then that's continuous BPM change. And if your song does that, then you can use this event to actually make it happen. And then time signature change is also, you know, self-explanatory. You can also do with the denominator is steps per beat. Next is scroll speed change, self-explanatory. You can also twin it and multiplicate it if you want to. And then next is alt animation toggle. This will toggle the alt animation for either whatever Strumline you select for their singing poses or their idle. Play animation. Lastly, this will play an animation of your choosing on whatever character you have it for. The character that has an animation, the name of it, if it's either forced, and the context of the animation. Either if nothing, singing, sing context, dance, miss, and lock. I have no idea what lock means, but if your character, if you want to play an animation, then there you go. That's basically all of the main chart things right here. Oh yeah, you can also do this, kind of like on Windows where you can or anything really where you can select like this. Next is this little thing here. This is the Strumline thing. You can either lock or unlock it to move around the Strumlines. You can create new ones with multiple characters in them if you want to. The type this character is, the position, scale, spacing. The scale changes how big the Strumline is, like that. Spacing changes how wide the notes, how spread apart the notes are. The position changes where the notes are. You can either check if it's visible or not. This is usually used for girlfriend. And you can even add a vocal suffix if there is one. And then this one's new. You can add as many notes as you want, but you're probably gonna have to code what they do. And then you can either check if the chart uses the scroll speed of the song or not. If it's unchecked, you can change the scroll speed of this Strumline to whatever you want, and it'll be that with regardless of the song's scroll speed. Basically, if you set this to like 7 and your song scroll speed's 2.5, then this will only be 7 no matter what. Vocal suffix is your usual vocal suffix. And then for the options up beneath them, you can mute the vocals for them. If it has it, you can also toggle hit sounds and the waveform for that Strumline. Pretty awesome. That's about it for the chart editor. This will pop up if you haven't saved. Let's move on to the character editor stuff. So let's go to, of course, BF as an example. This is what the character editor looks like. It might kind of look different, but meh. Here is the character editor. You have the position of the character, the scale, either if it's flipped or anti-aliased, the camera position, info sprite, and what you're testing the character as, and what the character is designed to be. So for example, if you're making an opponent, then you would want to make this as dad and dad. See how it flipped? So yeah. And then right here is where the animations are in your character. In your character, they'll appear here. For example, idle. You can do this to make it a ghost, as you can see. You can press the pencil to edit it, change the name, the animation name, which you'll definitely need to put that in. The position of it, the FPS, basically how fast it is, if you want it to loop, and the indices, which basically you can change it to be like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will only play those frames. Basically, it's like a parameter. In edit info, you can change the icon, either grab the icon color or put your own. Use sing duration. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea how to use this, but you guys probably will know how, since you know it's kind of like that. And then also some custom events, custom values, and then the image file. You can change it if you want, or have multiple for just one character. I'll probably teach y'all how to do that when we get to adding your own character. Next, you can click one of these to play the animation file. You can of course make a new one, save, copy offset, paste offset, undo, redo, and information image spread. Offsets, so the normal movement, left down up right, it'll move it by 1. If you hold shift, it'll move it by 5. You can also drag on a character with the mouse to set the position of that way too. You can also clear the offsets with Control R, and then you can use different stages if you want to. I didn't actually know about this, but you can also, of course, like the chart editor, you can zoom in, either mouse wheel, and also if you click on the stage, you can move the camera around. You can show the character's hitbox, the character camera, which is this little thing, and the X and Y axis. This will, if you press space, you can play the animation. You can change animation by, of course, pressing S and W. Play animation on offset, which will, I assume it does something, but, and also stop animation. I assume that just, yeah. that's basically it for this. It's kind of more simple, but yeah. Okay. Oh, oops. What have I done? Did I do something bad? What did I do? I didn't do shit. Oh yeah. Oh, there. Yeah. If you press F2, this will show up. I didn't do anything. Alright. Okay. Hold on for a sec. I have to use the bathroom. Okay, now let's go to the stage editor. Use stage as an example. So this is what the stage editor, this was what it would look like. Kind of zoomed in, but yeah. This will house the images, and it will start off, if you make a new stage, it will start off with DAT, GF, and BF, so that you know where you can put them. Since the stage XML has these, you can add a new sprite or box. Creating a box, yeah, I know. You can add a sprite, transform preview, the anti-aliasing, high memory, low memory, XY, scroll XY, scale XY, skew XY, alpha, image file, angle, zoom factor, a lot of stuff. But yeah, super simple. It's super simple. And then character is the same thing. Character is the same thing, but it just kind of adds a character. I don't think you can change it to your own character, but yeah. Okay, basically the same thing as character editor, where you can like edit the stage info, what the path will be, the name, the start camera zoom, and the start camera position. Sorry, zoom, and some custom attributes. The selection, you can select all. Control A, deselect, which is Control D, invert selection, which is Control Shift I, just basically inverts the selection. View, you can focus on DAD, you can focus on GF, you can focus on BF, you can do the zoom in stuff from before, and you can even also show. You can't hide the characters. I guess that's not implemented yet. I just never usually click that. But anyways, yeah, it's a stage editor. Finally, the alphabet editor. Since this is more newer, I won't know much about it, but you can add an alphabet basically. And then use alphabet bold. This is the data for character E, character. You can add more, but you're gonna have to either make a new alphabet by putting it in images, menus, and just put it here. You can add your own font alphabet if you want. You can flip the X, you can change the offset, you can make the color, you can change the color mode, you can use an outline if you want. You can change the angle, and then yeah, there's different characters. The regular characters, ampersand, the angle bracket left right, asterisk, at, backslash, all that, and even some ones that are used in different languages. Like I think that's enye, yeah, just these. But that's basically it. That's all the editors, and to my knowledge, how they work. This one's more longer, obviously, because chart editor is massive. Anyways, goodbye.